denominational diversity is not a call to enemy living. And I'm going to say it another time. And I'm going to say it loudly and clearly. That denominational barriers, denominational diversity is not a call for families to be torn apart. It's not a call for us to hate each other. For if we do, then we have missed the true essence of religion. It is important that I tell you that tonight, church. And talk about what's happening out there. You know I'm going to come inside. And I'm going to tell my Seventh-day Adventist brothers and sisters that diversity in comprehension, whether doctrinal or theological, is not a call for us to hate on each other. There are too many golden relationships within the Church of God that have been severed by diversity in theological or doctrinal understanding, if you will. Too many, and I told you last night, and I told you that many of our churches, more of our churches are planted by division than evangelism. But diversity, Church of God, hear me tonight, diversity, and I'm heading somewhere, diversity in what we believe is not a call to hatred and division among the professed people of God. So Seventh-day Adventists, your Seventh-day Adventism is not an invitation to hate on your relatives who are otherwise persuaded. All right, having said that, you know it is bad, Church of God. I can now get into the word. You know it is bad when we begin to project our divide onto the word of God. I'm going to say that just one more time because it's the last night, so I'm going to take my time and do some damage and go home. We know it's very bad when we begin to project our divide onto and into the Word of God. I spoke to you last night about the divisions, the disagreements, the question that continues to molest us of why so many denominations. A very relevant question that will not be outdated until God finally and divides humanity. The Christian community divides religion into two groups: true worshipers and false worshipers. You know, it's one thing when we are at odds with each other and when we are living in malice with one another and when we can't stomach each other because we don't believe the same things. You know, it's one thing, but it becomes a whole new ball game when we begin to project our animosity into the Word of God. And I'm going to fix it. Theologians and Bible scholars seemingly trying to suggest that the war among denominations is a reflection of a biblical disconnect. I want to say that one more time. That we've come to live in a time when Bible scholars and theologians are seemingly suggesting that the divide among the war among denominations is a reflection of a biblical divide. divide. And one of the most prominent theological wars of the Christian community, born out of the Reformation of the 15th